Intentions for fasting. 7-1 IT is sufficient to intend to fast in one's heart. Getting up for. SUHOOR is also an intention for fasting. IT is recommended to also express the intention verbally. 7-2 for the Ramadan fast, designated vows, and absolute voluntary fasting. The time for intention begins at sunset and continues until dawn. Intention may be made within this time frame. However, no intention for any fast may be made before sunset during the exact time of solstice, or from that time until evening. Regarding this matter of intention, residents, travelers, the healthy, and the sick are equal. However, the ability to intend to fast until the time of ZUHR is conditional on the absence of actions that break the fast, such as eating or drinking after the second dawn. If such an act that breaks the fast is committed, whether intentionally or unintentionally, the intention is no longer valid. According to the Maliki school, the intention for a voluntary fast cannot be made until midday on that day, because if the intention is not made in the morning, it is deemed that one has decided to break the fast that day. A day cannot simultaneously involve both fasting and breaking the fast. According to the Shafi'is, the intention can be made until sunset, provided that no act contrary to fasting has been performed since morning, because there is nitrogen monoxide specific time designated by religion for voluntary worship. This fast depends on the person's own desire. The desire to fast may also arise after noon. 73. For all compensatory and expiatory fasts, as well as obligatory vow fasts, it is required that the intention be made at night or at the beginning of the second dawn. Additionally, it is necessary to designate which fast is being observed in the intention. Therefore, if the intention for any of these is made after dawn, or if the specific fast to be observed is not designated in the heart, these fasting periods are not valid. This is because there is nitrogen monoxide, specific day designated for these fasting days. Which days are to be set? Assumption for these fasting days can only be determined through such an intention. A firm intention is sufficient for the Ramadan fast, a designated vow, or any voluntary fast. One may intend by saying, I intend to fast tomorrow. To fast tomorrow, that is, to perform a voluntary fast. However, it is more meritorious to intend these fasting at night, to designate these fasting, and to say, I intend to fast tomorrow's Ramadan fast. 7-4. A separate intention is required for each day of Ramadan because nights intervene between them. Furthermore, the fast of each day constitutes a separate act of worship. For this reason, a defect in one day's fast does not prevent the validity of another day's fast. 7-5. If the intention for a makeup fast is made after sunrise, the fast will not be valid as a makeup fast, and it will count as a voluntary fast. If this fast is broken, it must be made up, because a worship that has been started cannot be left unfinished. 7-6. If a person intends to fast the next day before sunset by saying, I will fast tomorrow, and then sleeps until the time of the zenith of the next day, or is in a state of unconsciousness, they have not fasted. However, if they intend to fast after sunset, THEIR fast is valid. 77. If a person, during the month of Ramadan, knows that it is Ramadan but has not made the intention for either fasting or breaking the fast, according to a sound tradition, they are not considered to be fasting. 78. If a person intends to fast for any reason during the night, but then changes their mind before dawn breaks, this change of mind is valid. However, if a fasting person intends to break the fast but does not actually break the fast is not voided by that. Intention alone. 79. An intention made by saying, Inshallah, I intend to fast tomorrow is valid. However, an intention such as, if I am invited to break the fast tomorrow, I will break If not, I will fast, is not valid. Fasting is not considered to have been performed with such a hesitant intention. 80. In fast where it is permissible to make the intention up until the time of istiva, If the intention is to be made during the day, one must intend to have been fasting from the beginning of that day. If one intends to fast only from the moment the intention is made, this does not constitute fasting. 81. A person who faints or loses their mind during the night or day of Ramadan is considered to have been fasting if they regain consciousness before sunset and intend to fast. 82. If a person intends to observe another obligatory fast during the month of Ramadan, that person is considered to have intended to fast for Ramadan. According to two scholars on this matter, there is nitrogen monoxide difference between a resident and a traveler. According to Imam Azam, if one is a traveler, one is considered to be fasting for the obligatory fast one intended. This is because a traveler is not obligated to observe the Ramadan fast. If one intends to fast as a voluntary fast, according to the prevailing opinion, it is considered an intention. For the Ramadan fast, the intentions of a sick person in this manner are also counted as the Ramadan fast according to the correct opinion. The absolute intentions of both the traveler and the sick person are also counted as the Ramadan fast. 83. If a fast is observed on a specific day designated for a vow, with the intention of fulfilling another obligatory act, such as expiation or making up a missed Ramadan fast, then, according to the valid opinion, this fast counts toward that obligation. That specific vow fast must be made up. 84. If one intends both expiation and a supererogatory fast for a single fast, it is valid as expiation. However, if one intends both to make up a missed fast and to atone for an oath for a single fast, neither is valid. This is because there is a conflict between them. In this case, that fast becomes a voluntary fast. 85. For someone who has missed one or more Ramadan fasts, the appropriate course of action when making up these fasts is to intend to make up the first obligatory fast that is due. However, it is also sufficient to simply intend to make up the fast without specifying this. 86. If a woman, while still menstruating, intends to fast at night and becomes pure before dawn, her fast is valid. 87. If a person who is a prisoner does not know whether the month of Ramadan has begun, they should inquire about it and fast according to their best judgment. Then it is determined if the fast coincide with Ramadan or if they fasted by intending to do so at night after Ramadan or after days on, which fasting is prohibited. The fast is considered to be from Ramadan. If they have fasted for fewer days than required during Ramadan, they must make up those missed days. However, if the fast falls before Ramadan, it is not valid. It is merely a voluntary fast.